Live. I'm Sonu Babu.
And I'm John Blinn. Happy Monday, everyone. Today is February 3rd, 2020. Before we dive into the news, we're going to toss it over to Nathan Brysinger to give us the latest on last night's big game. Nathan, what do you have for us?
Thanks, John. How about starting off this fine Monday afternoon with some sports? The biggest in America is Super Bowl 54. As it once again pulled off their magic, erasing a 10-point deficit and scoring 21 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. Kansas City was victorious 31-20 as they MVP himself, Patrick Mahomes, led the high-powered Chiefs offense, throwing for 200 touchdowns. Head coach Andy Reid also won his first Lombardi Trophy after being a head coach for 21 seasons in the league. As good of a game it was on the field, the halftime show was something else too. John, Sonu, what do you guys have to offer about this year's exciting halftime show?
Well, I've got to say, I've never been a big Shakira fan. Not that she's not talented, I just never really listened to her. But I did listen to Jennifer Lopez, and I've got to say, Sonu, she still has it. I was watching those dancers in the back last night, and I was watching their feet, and I kept thinking to myself, my feet will never, ever move that fast.
You're right. I cannot dance like that either. And the halftime show was received well by a lot of people. It was more than just a halftime show. As you can see on the screen here, Jennifer Lopez comes out with the Puerto Rico flag commemorating the earthquake which took the lives of over 100 people. So I think that it was a very powerful statement to make. What was your favorite part of the show? Personally, this was my favorite part.
So no, I don't know what my favorite part of the show was. Like I said, there was so much just going on. It was hard to keep track of. It was hard to find a favorite part.
Very exciting.
There were certain effects on the platform that I really enjoyed.
That's true. Me too. I love the dancing. I love the music. Love both of them. But in other words, it's spring, and Phil the groundhog did not see his shadow coming, calling for an early spring. Puxwanti's proceeding broke a 134-year record. Phil predicted an early spring, which only happened 20 times during Groundhog Day. Last year, on Groundhog Day 2019, Phil also could not find his shadow. Puxwanti is a borough in the south of Jefferson County, Pennsylvania.
A home in McKeesport was damaged after a fire that took place along Garbett Street between Douglas and Fremont Streets. Firefighters responded to the call at around 1 a.m. this morning. No injuries have been reported, and it is unclear if anyone lived in the home. The cause of the fire is still unknown. Several people were forced out of their duplex after a fire that took place in Harrison Township on Sunday night. 2 adults, 3 children, and a woman who lived on the other side of the duplex evacuated as heavy smoke began pouring out of the second story of the building. One firefighter suffered from heat-related issues, and the families affected by the fire are receiving aid from the Red Cross. The Allegheny County Fire Marshal is investigating.
And prosecutors are seeking the death penalty for a man accused of baking cookies and taking them to a 97-year-old woman who was bedridden before proceeding to kill her and her son, as well as setting their house on fire in eastern Pennsylvania. 38-year-old Drew Rose was charged with homicide, arson, and robbery in January 2019 for murders of Virginia and Roger Hook. According to a coroner, Virginia Hook was still tied up and died from smoke inhalation, while her son died of homicidal violence. If Rose is convicted with first-degree murder, prosecutors will seek the death penalty.
National Regional Police have arrested a man after an alleged incident of fraud. 24-year-old DeMarco Manns reportedly used false information, including a fraudulent Pennsylvania's driver's license and stolen Social Security information, when attempting to purchase 2 iPhone 11s in Cranberry Township. The false information was discovered to be that of a Timothy Wilson. Authorities say that Manns admitted to not being from Pennsylvania, but denied giving the Verizon employee false information.
And a middle school teacher is facing charges for identity theft after she was accused of stealing another teacher's driver's license and using it to return items at stores. Janine Vitorino of Shaler Area Middle School took the driver's license for several teachers and noticed it missing over a couple of days. Most of the 19 returns happened at Robinson Town Center. And police have arrested an armed robbery suspect which took place at the Hempfield Township Walmart. On Friday, suspect Christopher Hilty walked to the customer service section and pointed a gun at a cashier, leaving with the money. Hilty was arrested on Saturday and is being housed at the Westmoreland County Jail. Another theft, a woman who was hired to clean a man's office was charged and arrested after stealing over $800 from his lockbox. The man reported the incident to the Tarentum Borough Police Department. The man decided to install a security camera to monitor Mariah Butler's actions on January 30th in the morning. Butler manipulated the keys and unlocked the client's lockbox, and she was arrested Saturday with one count of both robbery, one count of criminal trespass, and one count of theft by unlawful taking.
Crews are working to clean up a 6-inch water main break that took place between Harrison Avenue and Monitor Avenue. Officials say that only a few customers were impacted by the main break.
And the Iowa caucuses are tonight, and the stakes are high. It's the first nominating contest in the 2020 Democratic presidential primary. Candidates have campaigned hard in the Senate, in the state, and they're making one last big push in the hours leading up to the caucuses. CNN's Jeff Zeleny reports. And we're going to see Scott McDaniel now, who is going to give a quick look at our weather forecast for today. How's it looking out there, Scott?
All right. Thank you, Sonu. Well, as you can see, our furry little meteorologist friend, Punxsutawney Phil, has predicted an early spring, and we are certainly starting to see the effects of that. As you can see out here on Nicholson Lawn, it is a beautiful cloudy day, sunny. It's very nice. We're getting that early spring that Punxsutawney Phil has predicted. That we got some leaves. It's almost like we are really getting an early spring here. It is absolutely gorgeous out here. I would highly recommend getting some of those get out of that winter depression. Today is definitely a nice day for that. So for my weather forecast, we are going to be looking at a cloudy day with a high of 54 degrees, a low of 46 degrees later in the day. The humidity will be a high of, 74%, and we'll have a chance of precipitation for 10%. Be sure to tune in later for my hourly forecast, tomorrow's forecast, the weekly forecast, and the 5-day. We're going to toss it back to Sonu and John.
Thank you, Scott. Stay tuned to RMU-TV for a host of great programming. Mondays at 1, get your news fix with RMU Live. Wednesdays is a Jimmy Kimmel twist with an RMU Kidding Me. Keep in touch with latest in Robert Morris Sports with Colonial Sports Center. Thursdays at 9:30. And new this year is RMU Focus Fridays at 1, focusing on everything Bobby Moe, streaming live on Facebook and Twitter. Coming up after the break, Nate Breisinger is back to talk about RMU sports. Stay tuned.
I was physically at school, but my mind wasn't at school. I had problems at home. That's when I met Narnese. She started helping me a little bit, like, Nia, I don't know what you're doing, but your future is more important. She's my strength. It takes a village to help somebody get their diploma. It changes your whole life.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be blood. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day.
I have no time for this.
So,
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
What to expect when you're expecting
Like here.
a teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to teen-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys. Preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
Ready for the... Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Home fire drills give your family a plan of action. In a home fire, you may have less than 2 minutes to get out. So when you drill, show everyone 2 ways out of the house, pick a safe meeting spot, and get there in under 2 minutes. Then practice home fire drills at least twice a year. You can even make them fun. So everyone knows the sound and exactly what to do when they hear a smoke alarm. Go to ready.gov/firedrill and learn how to prepare your family for home fires.
Welcome back to RMU Live. Robert Morris University has been recognized for a program regarding cybersecurity and information. The school's Masters in Internet Security program was listed as one of the best in the country. It fell in the 16th overall spot and was acknowledged as one of the best programs of entrepreneurship system focus.
And President Howard was named to the National Task Force on Transfer of Credit. The task force includes presidents and chancellors who will produce a report containing best practices of improving transfer credits. Supported by a grant from Strata Education Network, the task force will meet several times throughout 2020.
With that, we're going to head over to Nathan Brysinger to give us a look at Pittsburgh sports. Nathan, what do you have for us?
Thanks, John. The Pittsburgh Penguins return to the ice this weekend after the All-Star break. Take on the two rivals this weekend. On Friday night, the Pens hosted the Philadelphia Flyers, and the Flyers were able to get on the board first with Jacob Voracek scoring, but the Pens answered with 3 straight goals from Evgeny Malkin, Brian Rust, and Chris Letang. However, the Flyers were able to come back and tie the game to force overtime, where captain Sidney Crosby made no mistake beating Brian Elliott to Walker's side. The Pens were victorious 4-3 in this one. On Sunday, the team traveled to the nation's capital to take on the high-flying Washington Capitals. In a high-intensity type game, the Pens Dan Lafferty, Patrick Hornquist, Donald Simone, and Brandon Tatum all registered a goal. Goaltender Matt Murray made several huge saves to maintain the Pens' lead. The team returns to the ice on Thursday when they travel to Amalie Arena. Lightning. Now on to another significant sports topic. This year's Pro Football Hall of Fame class was announced on Saturday. Safety Steve Atwater, wide receiver Isaac Bruce, guard Steve Hutchinson, and running back Jerian James all solidified spots into NFL history. Also, former Pittsburgh Steelers Paul Molo earned his gold jacket in his first year of as humble as he is, Paul Molo left it out all on the field as it strengthened his legendary career. For now, that's all the Pittsburgh sports. Back over to the desk.
Thank you, Nathan. Coming up after the break, Romo and Iceberg and others bladed up at Schlendly Park Ice Rink.
And stay tuned for this week's Health Minute right after the break.
You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years, and I got my third child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Sometimes we can do things that exclude others.
You're still talking to your friends? It's complicated.
I think he went back in. We gotta go get him.
Welcome to Jumanji! Even the smallest words and actions can have a big effect on someone. You have the skills. Because of you, someone's entire day, their year, or their life can change.
Remember, the future is in your hands.
Visit becauseofyou.org to learn more.
Totally, let's do it.
Welcome back to RMU Live. This weekend, Schenley Rink held their mascot skate event, a tradition for 33 years. Let's take a look at how it went. The 33rd annual Mascot Skate brought families together to Schenley Park this weekend to meet their favorite mascots all over the Pittsburgh region.
I've been Steelman for over 12 years now, and this is my trusty mascot, also sidekick Dalton.
What brought you here today?
My
mascot is technically a warrior, like you, not only to fight crime, to fight illnesses as well.
Mascot Skate event director Bill Baca organized the event that has been running since 1988, just for children.
It doesn't really benefit anybody except for the kids out there because people have a chance to see their mascot up close and in person. A lot of times if you're at a ball game, you see the pirate parrot like 3 sections over and never see him in person. This is a chance for everybody to get up close, have their mascot picture taken, and be with them for a little while.
And children are having fun skating in the new rink this winter, just like 6-year-old Sunvi.
So what's your name?
Sunvi.
And how old are you?
6.
What's your favorite part about this event?
To learn how to ice skate.
My skills are, I would say, subpar to novice. However, I'm pretty good on these boots. You know, just plain old boots. I can skate around much better than on those little metal things. We started in January of 1988, so this will be the 33rd year. So it's been quite a ride. It's a special day because it's the second day for the remodeled ice rink out there. If you go check it out, it's awesome. It's absolutely beautiful. They renovated the rink extensively. As you can see, there's some new ice. They put in some new compressors, some boards. They had some RAD money from the sales tax, and they were able to invest that into the rink here. And the rink's over 40 years old. I think it was built like in 1975. So hopefully it'll be there for the next few generations.
The skate party also celebrates the newly renovated rink. Admission was free for the day. Reporting for RMU Century Media, I'm Sonu Babu.
Good news for those wishing to live a long and healthy life. Life expectancy rates in the U.S. have increased for the first time in years. In today's Health Minute, Reed Binnon tells us what has contributed to this positive turn.
Time in 4 years, people in the U.S. can expect to live longer. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention's National Center for Health Statistics, the average life expectancy in the U.S. in 2018 was 78.7 years, an increase of 0.1 year from 2017. Broken down by gender, it's 76.2 years for men and 81.2 years for women. One of the study's authors attributed the positive swing to fewer deaths from cancer, drug overdoses, and heart disease, among others. Deaths from drug overdoses fell 4.1% from 2017 to 2018, the largest decline in decades. However, when it comes to specific drugs, the number of overdose deaths from synthetic opioids continued to increase dramatically. The infant mortality death rate also decreased thanks to fewer deaths from unintentional injuries and cord and placenta complications. For today's Health Minute, I'm Reed Binnon.
Thank you, Reed. To get even more RMU-related content, be sure to tune in to RMU Radio. You can listen live with the Radio FX app or follow RMU Century Media on Podbean for the latest podcast talking sports, music, movies, and news. Coming up after the break, Nathan Brysinger is back in the Sports Center.
Stay tuned for more.
I was physically at school, but my mind wasn't at school. I had problems at home. That's when I met our niece. She started helping me a little bit, like, Nia, I don't know what you're doing, but your future is more important. She's my strength. It takes a village to help somebody get their diploma. It changes your whole life.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be blood. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day.
I have no time for this.
So
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
What to expect when you're expecting.
Like here.
A teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to team-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys. Preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
Ready for the... Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Home fire drills give your family a plan of action. In a home fire, you may have less than 2 minutes to get out. So when you drill, show everyone 2 ways out of the house, pick a safe meeting spot, and get there in under 2 minutes. Then practice home fire drills at least twice a year. You can even make them fun. So everyone knows the sound and exactly what to do when they hear a smoke alarm. Go to ready.gov/firedrill and learn how to prepare your family for home fires.
We're now going to toss it over to Nathan Brysinger to give us the latest on all RMU sports. Nathan?
Thank you, John. On Saturday, the men's basketball team took the court first in a doubleheader affair against Central Connecticut State at the People's Court at UPMC Event Center. The team defeated the Blue Devils 64-57 in a closer contest than expected. The teams fought back and forth for the lead throughout the second half, but the Colonials would get the last laugh and grab another conference win to improve to 8-2 in the NEC. Giannis Mendy and A.J. Brahma led the way for RMU, both registering 11 points. Brahma has gone 18 straight games where he has recorded double-digit points. The team will head on the road for their next 3 games. As for the next game in the doubleheader, the women's basketball team had continued their undefeated streak in the NEC with a dominating performance against the Blue Devils, winning 80-42. Dahomey Forge, Neka Izibo, Laura Carrasco, and Ire Ozzy Mamadou all reached double-digit points in this game. The team improved their conference lead to 3 games over Mount St. Mary's with a 9-0 record. Now let's head out to Tempe, Arizona, where the men's hockey team took on the Arizona State Sun Devils in a 2-game set. The Sun Devils jumped out to a 3-0 lead in Friday's matchup, but the Colonials would receive the 2 goals from Nick Lalonde and Luke Lynch to mount a comeback. However, they would not get an equalizer and would lose 3-2. In Saturday's contest, the Sun Devils struck first, but the Colonials would take their first lead of the weekend thanks to tallies from Daniel Mantenuto and Nick Berkusik. However, 4 unanswered goals from Arizona State made it 5-2 and an insurmountable lead for the Colonials to overcome. Nick Berkusik and Brandon McCallion would shrink the lead to 1 goal, but that would be all from the Colonials offense. Nick Berkusik's 3 points extends his team lead to 19. RMU returns to the ice next weekend when they welcome RIT to Colonials Arena for a 2-game set. As for this weekend, that's all the Robert Morris Sports to report. Back over to the desk.
Coming up, Australia is still in a state of emergency, and our weatherman Scott is here to give us the full look at today's weather. Stay tuned.
Entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour he recognized a sign, not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a 4th ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Jason, let's go see your room.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Welcome back to RMU Live. Authorities in Australia say some of the fire activity around the capital has eased, but the area would remain under a state of emergency until at least Monday. Temperatures have cooled slightly in Canberra after reaching into the 40s on Saturday, and a storm moving through the region could impact firefighting efforts. Rain is expected to continue throughout the week.
An orange sunrise over Breadbow shrouded in smoke. Crews working through the night and into the morning, battling a fire that can only be described as savage. In nearby Bumbalong, it's left its devastating mark. Anika Safe and her family returned to find the remains of their home. Of more concern, they didn't get their animals out.
We're just looking for any other animals we've got and seeing what we've got left of our property. I knew it'd be hard, but I didn't think it'd be this hard. Yeah.
But a moment of joy, 2 of the family's goats turning up safe and well and ready for a feed. David Davies watched the fire come down from the northwest at a speed and ferocity he's never seen before. He says it was war.
There was heat, there were explosions, there was flame. I came over here this morning expecting to see no houses, and how people didn't die here yesterday is beyond me.
The strain of this summer is written over everyone and the land. Right now, fireys are dealing with flare-ups down the valley, and that wind is back. Make no mistake, the battle lines are still drawn. It's a battle driven by the Aurora Valley fire that started in the ACT and crossed the border. This shot from a plane shows that fire inching its way towards Canberra's southern suburbs, having already burnt out 23% of the ACT's landmass.
There are still days and possibly weeks of firefighting ahead of us.
Containment lines are now in place between Thawa and Canberra's southern suburbs. Near Candelo in the Bega Valley, Ben Lawrence left his property yesterday, deciding it couldn't be defended. He returned today, fearing the worst.
But I guess until you get your eyes on your own property, it's kind of hard to imagine what could be there waiting for you.
Waiting for him, a property scorched around the edges but with no major damage. Others nearby not so lucky, the remnants in a growing toll of homes lost. Ruth Wynne Williams, 9 News.
We're now going to go over to Scott McDaniel for the full look at the weather forecast. Scott, what do you have for us?
All right, well, Sonu, we're definitely looking at some nice spring weather here, very unseasonal for winter. However, so as you can see today, we have a high of 54 degrees with a low of 46, humidity of 74%, and a chance of precipitation for 10%. So now if we take a look at the hourly forecast, it'll be a lot like today's, but as you can see hourly, at 3 p.m. we'll be looking at 52 degrees. 6 p.m., 3 hours later, we're going to be looking at 48 degrees. It's going to cool down a little bit, and then it's not going to change much at 9 p.m. with 47 degrees, cloudy all over. Now looking at tomorrow's forecast, we're going to be getting a lot of that spring weather with some rain showers with a high of 52 degrees and a low of 30 degrees. Humidity will be 87% with a chance of precipitation for 80%. Definitely going to want to take your umbrella to work tomorrow. Now looking at our 5-day forecast, Wednesday we're going to be partly cloudy with a high of 35 degrees and a low of 31. Thursday we will get some snow showers, take a break from that spring weather with a high of 45 and a low of 32. Friday, we're going to go back to those rain showers with a high of 35 and a low of 26. Saturday and Sunday are both going to be partly cloudy. Saturday with a high of 37 and 28. Sunday will be the same. Be sure to tune in next week for my weather forecast once again. But for now, we're going to toss it back to John and Sonu.
Thank you, Scott. For all updates on RMU sports, news, and arts and entertainment, head over to rmucenturymedia.com for the latest student-run news. And new this year, be sure to check out Colonial Sports Network for all things sports. Thank you for spending your Monday afternoon with us. We will see you next week.